Welcome to the family with
Alex Barnard Rasmussen.
Sitting here worried about my toxic pants, Catherine Brandt.
Michael Bryant.
And Andy Bernard.
What do you mean toxic pants?
I read this thing about microplastics, and now I'm all freaked out about yoga pants.
Oh. Well, if it helps, all pants are made out of plastic these days.
Polyester is like the reason why men don't have any sperm anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting dementia.
Yeah,
It's terrifying.
Don't go on the internet. That's my advice.
Yeah, just stay off the internet. That is pretty much
Is
true.
Ellie and Nick in here? Holy cow, these are loud.
They're loud.
Some people are,
People.
real deaf.
I was trying to think of who did use those last.
Real deaf.
Doug, I think.
Oh, Doug Sprinthal did.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably Dougie. I wouldn't doubt it. So, we'll see what the situation is. But
The situation.
such is life. So anything, what?
I was telling your dad and Kristen Bird earlier, have either one of you guys seen Stutz on Netflix? Apparently it's been around for like 6 to
Say
8
the word
months.
again.
Stutz.
Like
Stutz.
Stutz
Like
Bear
Like
Cat.
stutter without an
Yeah,
Bird?
Stutz, I think is what it is. But it's Jonah
Stutz.
Hill interviewing his psychologist.
No.
And Jonah had a whole bunch of issues with being heavy and with eating and stuff.
okay.
And this guy really helped him. And this is Jonah interviewing his psychologist. It was so good. It's about an hour and a half. I watched it, stopped, went back and watched it again. So
Oh.
a lawyer told me about it this weekend. It's really, really good.
Okay.
It's for people with depression. So it's great.
So he's looking right at me. As
Oh, no.
It's for depressed people.
Hello.
I'd already told him.
Really, really sad individuals with terrible personalities.
You'll love it.
I sent it out to my office and my kids and everybody as soon as I saw it.
Oh, okay.
It's all true. I have to ask you a question. Under the outdoor section in the Star Tribune, it says what Minnesota researchers found after studying Strava's effects on mental health.
Oh, yeah.
What is Strava?
Strava's it's an app to track your workouts.
Oh, so this
Like-
is an app.
And it
then.
affects your mental health.
Dan uses it, and you can I used it for a little bit, but it's more.
Didn't you say it was contributing to anorexia or something? Weren't you mad at me when
No,
I
that was
downloaded it?
Noom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Noom.
no.
It's linked to social media.
Yeah,
And
so
they think that people see it and get competitive and
Oh.
feel bad about their race and then go out and race again. Or
it definitely, if you have a certain type of personality, you should not use it. Dan uses it for
You're competitive.
his Dan
Yeah.
uses it for his roller skis and his runs and stuff because he has a group of roller ski and running buddies that they all post it, and then they just you can high five each other, comment nice roller ski. I'm doing the same path later today, like that kind of thing. I think it's great for that. I used it for a summer, and then I was like, I don't care. This is
Yeah.
another thing to
don't
worry
care.
about.
Yeah,
can't
when I
even
first
deal
got the
with an Apple
Fitbit-
Watch.
When I first got my Fitbit, there was always a bunch of Melissa's friends would do a walk thing. It's whoever gets the most steps this month gets,
Yeah.
A trophy or whatever.
Yeah, people
Right.
do that
And
in
at first I
offices
was like,
and
oh, that's
stuff a
kind of
lot.
cool. And then
Yeah.
eventually I was just like, I don't really care that much.
yeah. The only thing I was wondering about when I was reading that article is, didn't people used to do that in groups years ago before?
Thank you.
And-
Yes,
and
people
they
used to
did.
just
that
get
as
together with
bad?
their friends and walk. But
Well,
now
but
people
that was
don't
the
have
honor
friends
system, though.
anymore. They just have
Back then you
virtual
could be like,
friends.
oh yeah, I totally walked 10 miles yesterday. Prove I didn't.
Yeah, people do it in offices a lot where it's oh, we're going to do a
Sure.
November steps challenge,
Mhm.
and everybody that gets 10,000 steps a day, we're all going to go out to a nice dinner at the end of the month or something like that, which
Well,
I think
how much
is
they owe me.
that's fun.
That can be
Oh.
fun, absolutely.
See, I want to see a reverse steps challenge.
Reverse
But-
steps, yeah.
See
I-
how few steps you can take in a month.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there
It's
you
I got down
That's
to
my
10
boy.
steps.
I was going to say,
Oh, but it's like a challenge
if
because
anybody.
you'd have to roll around your house.
God.
Inchworm.
Yeah, exactly.
I never
around.
stood up once.
You can
Army
s-
crawl.
You can somersault, you can cartwheel, but you can't step.
Yeah,
No
no
stepping.
How about the toilet?
Yeah, I think if you have a certain type of personality that is either A, extremely competitive, or B, leans toward becoming obsessive with things, I think it could be really bad
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like Tom, your Apple Watch. You love that thing. You love closing your little rings
Yep,
and
close
getting
the
your
rings.
steps
Yeah,
in.
I like to
and
close the rings,
You
yes.
really, really like that. And I am like, I just feel like my watch just calls me a fat cow because I didn't do it that
That's
day.
Well,
Well,
you're
you
so
hardly
heavy.
and you
That's
hardly ever
true.
wear your watch
And
anyway.
I never wear it.
So,
I
Yeah.
just don't need something else judging me.
Mm.
That's all. That's
like
all.
It
my,
doesn't really judge. You, but,
it doesn't
you know.
really
I feel
judge you.
judged by
doesn't
it.
Yeah,
say
but
anything
yeah,
negative
that's
to
what the
you.
ring does. Is that's the judging.
Oh,
that
that's
some
the
people
judge.
can't take.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, because they get
Yeah.
all whacked
Yep.
out by it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just set your
I
goals really
suppose.
low. You can adjust the goals on your watch.
Well, like Andy said, rolling around all day.
Achievements.
I don't think that's
you
on
can,
there.
You can reset everything to have it be really low.
You
Like,
can.
Dad, what's your daily move goal?
My daily move goal? You mean in steps?
No. So your move goal is your red ring.
Okay, hold on.
Give me your here. I need to see your wrist We can
You need to see
compare.
my wrist.
Yeah.
because it shows
For
your move
Christmas,
goal.
he needs a new watch band.
I do.
Oh
need a new
God, your watch
band.
band is
Oh, his birthday.
revolting. No,
2
keep
weeks.
keep it on your. Oh yeah, your
Revolting.
birthday's in 2 weeks. I call watch band.
Do not buy a watch band, Tom Bernard.
Don't do it.
Don't do
He'll
it.
go buy one
Right
today.
today.
Open your
afternoon.
watch.
Just
How do you,
wash
Can you
Is it-
handle this or not?
No, your
Just
watch
he needs a
isn't
new one. It's old.
working like
Oh, it's
your
gross.
watch
It
doesn't
is.
work like mine does.
No, he's got
You
the
have it
fancy
set.
GPS one.
What the hell? You have so many app. What?
Got a lot of
on-
apps on here.
Where's
I didn't
like your
put 'em on
activity?
there.
Oh, there.
You
I just got to
scroll
it.
through it.
Oh my
You got to
God.
scroll down.
What is this
You're a
watch?
disaster.
I really am.
It's
Okay.
the $1,000 one.
Okay, that's so far my day today.
Okay. You have okay. So his move goal is 500 calories. Mine is 650.
Oh, that's a lot.
500.
600. Wait, 650.
Yes.
I
And
burn
this is
3,200
5,000?
calories a
Which
day.
I'm not saying that
Oh,
that's like what you
500,
do. I'm just saying that I think that the watch automatically comes with 500, but you can move it up or down
Oh, okay.
depending. So,
I do
and then you can-
3,200 calories a day.
and then you can like set your exercise minutes,
Okay.
which is usually set to 30 automatically.
Is it?
Yep.
30 minutes.
And mine
there
is
you
set
go.
to 32, but I usually work out for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then it does your stand goal, which is standing 1
10.
minute of every
Oh,
hour for 12 hours.
okay. So you
And
have
then
to have
it's-
that watch on right
Give
away
me
when
see
you
your
wake
hand
up
for 1 second.
And then there's no
because it doesn't give you
St-
extra.
sanitize. Where's the iodine?
Where's the iodine?
Get some
My pants-
disinfectant.
Oh god.
All that means I work out really hard. That's all
No,
it means.
it means you've never watched your
Yeah,
washed your watch.
There
band.
could be a lot of reasons for that, Pally,
here's
but
the
you
thing.
know,
I suppose.
Mine is plastic. It's
Yeah,
tortoise shell like a regular
Full
watch.
of microplastics.
It's I'm
Reaching into
probably
your body right now.
my sperm count is very low.
yeah,
that's good.
well,
And I
Can't
blame
find
my
out.
watch.
Probably a
There's
good
none.
thing.
The last I checked. But yeah, like so plastic, it's easy to clean. You
Yes,
have like a
that's true.
cloth one.
Mine's
Yeah,
cloth. I
the
just
cloth.
throw
Well, he's
it in
never
the,
cleaned it,
the
so it
washing
doesn't
machine.
matter.
You put yours in the washing
It's like a
machine?
dog collar. Every once in a while, I just
Yeah.
soak
Yeah.
my dog's collars and put them in the washing machine. Like yours is made out of kind of dog collar material.
Is it dog collar?
Yeah,
material?
mine's like that. Mine's like a fabric-y, stretchy
Yeah.
thing. I just throw it in the washing machine every so often.
Which
Then
I
you have
can't
to learn how to take it off of the face.
Which is a
sometimes
whole
a
thing.
challenge.
I'm
I
gonna
got
get
no
you-
shot.
Not
I'm
with
gonna
a
get
Fitbit.
you a not disgusting watch band for your birthday.
I thought Nana was going to do that.
Happy birthday
She
to
called
you.
it.
Well, you could have a couple. You could
It's my
rotate.
idea, but
That's
It was
you could.
my idea, but
No, remember
So-
a few weeks ago, I was like, "Your watch band is disgusting." Okay, so
Alex's
I'm back.
trip. We should talk
I was
about
gone
the
for
trip.
that's
8
right.
days. I was
That's
gone
right.
for 8 days, and I'm back.
How
I'm
was
hanging
it?
out
I
with
bought
me
you
old
2
buddies.
loaves of bread.
Why?
Sage was going through bread like a maniac.
Oh, really?
Hit that kid every morning. What would you like? Your mom left you this, that, the other thing. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
loved
You
peanut
would
like
eat an
peanut butter and
entire one,
jellies for
which is surprising because
breakfast.
the bread was pretty thick.
Yeah.
And he says, I said, "Oh, peanut butter and jelly again. I thought you would want a waffle." Well, you know what? Peanut butter and jelly is really the perfect sandwich. It's quick and convenient and it's delicious.
Yeah,
I'm
there you
like,
go.
He's not wrong.
Okay, 6-year-old.
He's
No,
not wrong.
okay, then.
He's not wrong. He will. Yeah, he'll eat 2 peanut butter and jellies for breakfast with like blueberries sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I
that's
used
what
to
we had
eat
every morning.
This morning he
Tons of
had a leftover smoothie bowl from Fawn yesterday that she didn't finish that had like chia pudding, mango, coconut, whatever, toaster waffle, blueberries, and eggs, scrambled eggs.
Wow,
There
he was
you go.
hungry.
He's a breakfast kid.
Yeah, where
He likes
Fawn is
breakfast.
Not
Fawn kind of,
crazy.
she had a burrito.
Oh, Okay.
She really likes, it's just pinto beans, cheese in a tortilla.
Oh,
She loves that for breakfast.
okay.
And then she had a protein shake.
Okay.
She's more of a convenience breakfast kid, whereas Sage is like, I need calories right away.
Okay. Makes sense.
And then Fawn they both eat pretty much the same amount for lunch. And then Fawn's more of a dinner kid than Sage is. Like Fawn eats a lot. Her biggest meal is for sure dinner. And he will sometimes eat a lot, sometimes eat
Anyway,
not
that's
much.
why I ended up buying 2 loaves of bread.
Got it. I was wondering, I was like, well, okay. And what is the egg situation?
Your eggs that you ordered was a half a carton. It wasn't full.
Okay. But then there was hard-boiled eggs?
I do not know.
I tried to
not do
crack an
that.
egg to make Sage eggs this morning and it was hard-boiled. And I was like, how many of these are hard-boiled?
That's
I didn't
weird.
do any of that.
So I'm assuming because you guys watched them and then Dan's mom watched them and then Dan's aunt watched them. And so I'm like, somebody hard-boiled eggs. And then I opened up the other egg carton because there was another egg carton. And then there were broken used eggshells in the carton.
What?
That was not me.
I know that wasn't you because I was like, you don't do that.
No.
Dan's brother does that. So I'm assuming his mom must do it or maybe his aunt does it. I don't
That's
know. But I
weird.
was like,
Yeah.
I was
No,
like,
don't
why
want
are
that
there
icky egg
broken
stuff all over.
eggshells in the carton?
No.
So I put them in the compost.
true.
Yeah.
I know it's weird. Our house is like different because there were you could tell there were like other people in our
Doing
stuff.
things, yep.
Like our garbage smells, which our garbage never smells
different?
because we
Yeah.
compost.
Okay.
So we never have like
Yeah.
stinky stuff rotting in our garbage.
I
I opened
took
up our
out your
garbage last night and I was like,
compost.
what is in there? And then our like kitchen utensil drawer looks like a bomb went off in it.
Some of that was your kids digging around. for
Okay, I
stuff
was
and
like,
helping.
what?
Helping.
The divider thing is in half. I was like, what is going on?
Well, I
in
was always
here?
asking Fawn for stuff because we were making those witches'
Oh, trying
fingers.
to
Oh,
find
yeah.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
trying to
she's
find stuff,
like-
and she kind of just would rifle through everything to find it. So
Okay.
So how
little
was
bit.
the trip?
Got it. Oh, the trip was great.
That's
We were
where
in.
we had
That's
to go.
why we.
Wait, I got to mention one more thing before you do the trip.
Okay.
You know what happened yesterday when we said goodbye to the kids?
You
Or
didn't
2
say
days ago?
go- yeah. I don't know.
Sagey teared up. It was
Mm.
very
No.
sweet.
he
He's
was very sweet.
It was very sweet. He
He's
teared
a
up.
sweet one.
We had to say goodbye, and he didn't like that.
Aw, Sage.
Fawn couldn't wait to get out of there, but you know.
Just like see ya.
See you
Had enough,
later.
Pally.
All right, so the trip.
The trip was great. We went to San Diego for the first. So we got into San Diego Saturday, and then we stayed there until Wednesday morning, and we did. Oh boy.
You went to
What
La
did we
Jolla,
do?
saw the seals.
I went to La Jolla and saw the seals, which was the greatest moment of my life. I was like, who needs television or the
Just
internet?
out in the ocean, not
Yeah.
like at
Yeah.
a zoo.
They
There
always
was-
they always
there
hang
were
out
like
at this one point.
There were like
They're always
40
there.
of them.
Yeah, they're always
And they
there.
were just barking at each other. There was this one that was like barking. He was clearly like the head guy.
Mhm.
And then there were every once in a while was like another guy that would kind of be like, no, I'll tell you what to do. And he was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. And it just like the dynamics. And there were babies.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, they were so cute, the little baby. And then every once in a while, so you know they bark.
Yep.
Mhm.
But then every once in a while, one would come out of the ocean and just go, "Ah," and then would go back swimming. It was like, what are you? That's the delusional weird. That's the drunk one.
Mhm.
I don't. Just watching the dynamics of the seals was just fascinating. Dan like twice was like, "All right, are you ready?" And I was like, "No, I want to watch these seals more." So that was really fun. We
saved somebody.
saved a man.
Really?
Yes,
That's
we
what
were
I
doing.
heard.
Yeah, we were doing a
He
hike.
hadn't found the Lord yet. or-
Yes,
Yeah.
we preached.
Right.
That's what we did. This was our actual mission trip. No, we were on a hike from I don't even remember where, somewhere near La Jolla, and then you went down to the beach, and it kind of broke off into two separate ones, which one kind of looked more like you were like on the side of because you were between two big
Cliffs.
cliffy type things.
Cliffy.
You know,
Cliffy.
they weren't majorly cliffs, but they were cliff-like.
Okay.
And so you were between two big ones, and there was one that you were kind of on the side of the cliff, and then you went down, and then there was one where you went in between a crevice. And we were like, we'll do that one. And then we ended up catching up to this man. He was probably about 50, and he had probably like 15-year-old son. And they were carrying a beach bag, and he was wearing flip-flops, and like he was in good shape.
Yeah, but
for a
hiking on
50-year-old
rocks
man
with
Yeah,
flip-flops.
flip-flops,
Which
yeah.
plenty of
That's
people were doing it.
Really?
Which this hike, even the easy one, was not flip-flop
friendly.
friend. I was like, what are you all?
Harry.
Like it was sand. There were parts where it was like the width of your foot, and then it dropped
Yeah.
like
Whoa.
10 feet. And
Mhm.
people were doing it, no shoes, carrying surfboards.
No shoes would be.
Yes,
okay.
I was like, no shoes would actually
Little
be
grip.
way better
Yeah.
than some people were in, Crocs. I was like,
Ooh,
okay, you
no.
guys.
Those are slippery.
that's
aren't
They
they?
should,
I
you just
know.
shouldn't be in Crocs anyway.
No.
In
That's a whole different-
No.
Unless you're gardening or a nurse, then you can wear Crocs or a chef.
Or under 15.
Yes, or over 80. But yeah, so we went into the like crevice part, and it was really narrow. I mean, you had to go sideways in some parts, and
Ooh,
then we caught up to this
claustrophobia.
guy, and he was taking forever to do. I mean, there were parts where you were literally standing on just kind of a foot in diameter rock that was shoved in the crevice.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then there was like probably 4 feet below it that you kind of had to jump off the rock to get down. It was not an easy hike by any means, but he was taking so long to do
Sure.
every little step. And then Dan was like, how about I go ahead of you and let you know if it gets easier or not?
Okay.
And so the guy was like, sure, sounds good. And then Dan came back. He only went for a little bit, and then he came back and he was like, yeah, it's like an 8-foot drop to nothing at the end of this.
Oh,
And so I was like, okay, let's turn around because you
gotta
can't get to
rock
the
climb
beach.
down.
And I'm like, you can't get to the beach that way. So I was like, we'll just go back up and then go on the one everybody else is doing. And Dan had to, like, the man was frozen with, I think, fear.
maybe you got a little claustrophobic
I
in
think
there.
we were waiting behind him, and it was probably a good 5 minutes before he didn't even make any forward progress.
Yeah.
And I looked at Dan and I was like, I'm getting a little claustrophobic, which I'm not a claustrophobic person, but we were probably 20 feet down in this crevice, and then he wasn't going anywhere. And so then I just was a little bit like, okay, like, are we, can we go? Like, what is happening? And that's when Dan was like, I'll go around him and I'll just check how much longer it is, and then we'll see. And then he was like, okay, let's turn around. And then he was like, Alex, you just go back up and I'll just meet you where it splits off, because
This might take a while.
this might take a while. And it sure did. Like, he had to lift him up and tell him where to put his foot. And the man was like, I have never seen someone so scared about doing anything. And he was like, if we hadn't been there, he would have probably needed to call emergency services to get him out. Cause like his son wasn't able to really help him. He had to help the son figure out how to get back up. It was, yeah. Dan, and I was just standing there at the separation because I was like, I can't do anything,
No.
I'm whatever. And so I was just standing there where it split off. And I was like, after a while, I was like, Dan, you good? And he was like, yeah.
Oh, God.
But yeah, it was a while. And then I thought that the guy might just go back up and be like, I'm done. But he did the hike everybody else was doing. It took him a very long time, but we got to the beach and Dan was like,
He's probably scared of heights and claustrophobia.
it must, yes. And I was like, maybe he had a back injury at some point or a knee injury. So he had to be more careful and was nervous about hurting it again. I don't know. But Dan was like, the man was paralyzed with fear
Oh.
of
That's
whatever
terrible.
whatever
the
fear
deal
it was.
was.
So yeah, we rescued a man from a crevice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was lovely. And we
Okay,
went
so
to San
seals
Diego Zoo.
rescue.
Yeah, seals rescue. That was one day. That was one day. We went to the San Diego Zoo.
That is amazing. That's an amazing zoo.
Which was great. We didn't see everything because they had a panda exhibit, which I was very excited about because pandas are hilarious.
Yes.
But you had to like time your entry into the exhibit
Oh.
or wait in a long line to get into it because it was like a separate thing in
It's
the
like
middle
a
of the zoo.
Disney Fast Pass kind of situation.
Kind
Is it?
of,
Okay.
yeah. And Dan and I both were like, do we care that much?
Oh. Yeah.
because we
And
walked.
probably when you get there, they're sleeping.
Yeah, exactly,
You're
or
gonna nap.
you can't see them anyway. You know,
Yeah.
but we saw elephants, we saw bears,
Okay.
we saw.
Is that the place where they have the? Is it a peacock? No, it's the pink flamingos. Where they have a ton of flamingos.
Yeah, there's like 2 flamingo exhibits.
Yeah.
There's 2 different types of flamingos. There's like the biggest version of flamingos, and then like your standard flamingo. And we saw all of those. We saw the giraffe. We saw the rhino. We didn't see the hippo or the gorillas, which we were because we did half of the zoo and then we cut through the middle where the pandas were, but you couldn't see them. Everything was covered unless you went into their special area. And then we were like, oh, let's take the little bus because there's a bus tour of the zoo. And it took us to everything we had already seen.
Yeah, there you go.
And then by the time we were done with the bus, we were like,
I'm zooed out.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to go.
It's a nice zoo, though.
Yeah, it is really
It's a
nice.
really
It's a
nice.
very-
zoo.
But I will
Yeah.
say the Minnesota Zoo is a really nice
It is.
zoo.
It
That's
is very
true.
nice.
It's a really nice zoo. Like
Yeah.
there is a
It's
lot to do,
smaller.
and it's actually not that much
Well-
smaller. I wouldn't say
I
Yeah, it's
feel
a
like
big
the-
zoo.
I
It's
feel
a
like
big
the San
zoo.
Diego Zoo is just massive.
Is there any zoo still over at Como?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
horrendous.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
Yes. Yeah.
It's horrendous.
Oh,
Don't
God,
go
if you want to see
It's a little sad.
a
Oh.
zebra in a cinder block 10 by 10
Yeah.
room with a rubber
Oh.
ball,
I
then
think-
you can. No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
kidding.
thought
Did you
they
ever
changed
Did
it.
you ever
Well,
go to
maybe.
the Duluth Zoo?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Where's
The-
that? Where
You
is
mean the
it?
on the-
aquarium?
No, they have a zoo in Duluth.
Oh,
It's
they
like
have
up on
a-
the mountain or up on the hill.
Yeah, it's like a wildlife thing. It's not like a
Refuge kind of
zoo.
thing?
Yeah,
it has
it's
like
a-
a
yeah.
lions and I think
Oh.
a bear and I don't know what
Yeah.
else, but it's not very big.
Yeah.
So
And so the San Diego Zoo also has the San Diego, there's like a wildlife refuge place where a lot of their animals go to. It's huge. It's absolutely humongous, I guess. And a lot of the animals that they rescue or save or whatever that need to be
Mm-hmm.
going to the zoo spend some time there to kind of like adapt to not living in the wild anymore.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay.
And then they end up going to the zoo. And yeah, so we went to the zoo and we went to the artist quarter, like Balboa Park.
Okay.
We did that and had lunch. That was one other day. And we went to what was it called? It's an airline carrier or air whatever. The
What?
warship that
What?
carries the
Oh, Mission
Aircraft
Impossible
carrier?
thing?
aircraft carrier. There we go. I was like, airline.
So
Yeah.
they have an aircraft carrier there.
Yes, but it's a museum. It's a retired
okay.
aircraft carrier, and now it's a museum. So it's parked in the.
I'm trying to remember which one that would be.
It's okay. If I'm just
You'll
gonna,
find it.
I was on it. Okay, we were probably in there for 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that the Mission Impossible thing that you sent Sage?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had Mission Impossible, USS Midway.
Oh, the Midway.
aircraft
Okay,
carrier.
it was a
Midway.
Midway,
the
yeah.
I think they've shown that one on
Midway.
like they've done when football games are in San Diego or something like
Yeah.
it's been part of Monday Night Football or something.
Oh, I'm
Was
sure.
that one originally in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
When it got
Well,
Well,
bombed,
and it's
yeah.
right across the street from where like the Navy SEALs train and
Right.
stuff. Like they train on that island right across from San
Were they
Diego,
all
across
out there
the
going,
bay. Yeah. And some ship had just come in from being on duty for 2 years or something
Oh.
like that. So there was all these like welcome home banners and things. And
Wow.
yeah, it was cool. But the USS Midway it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Mhm.
We ended up getting free tickets because we were talking to one of the guys that worked on the ship because there's like a little harbor tour that you can take. And there was a guy that was just standing there and we were like, hey, can you explain to us what's the difference between the north one and the south one and how long does it take and blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, and then we were like, okay, well, maybe we're going to go to the Midway. And then he just pulls out 2 free tickets and gives them to us. And they're $65 a piece.
Wow.
And it was just this like
Nice.
guy. And we
Pays
just
to,
had talked
pays
to him.
talk to strangers.
It sure paid to talk to strangers a
'Cause-
few times on our trip
Because you
because
saved the guy. That was good
we
karma.
saved the guy.
Yeah.
We got these free tickets. And another time we talked to this woman and we ended up driving a $115 Rivian.
What?
Yeah, it was because we talked to this lady that was this is later in the story.
You mean 115,000?
115,000
I
Oh,
would say $115.
dollars is
That's
not
a cheap
115,000.
car.
Sorry, missed the 1,000. Anyway, the Midway was really cool, but it's like you're in the
I don't think we did that when we went to San Diego.
No.
No.
I would recommend it. I'm not like a big warship plane
I wouldn't take
person
you for
at
big
all.
war.
No.
No.
At the end of the day, because then we went on the harbor tour and we ended up going on the one that just showed you all of the warships. And then afterwards, I was like, Dan, I'm done
I've had enough.
with the war
With the warships.
stuff. Because we got back to the hotel and I was like, I am just like exhausted. And he was like, well, we should go do something. We should blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I need like an hour of not dealing with war. Okay. I can't do it. I was like, 5 hours is my max. And like, I'm glad we did it. And he was fascinated and took a bunch of pictures and whatever. But yeah, you were like in the ship for probably about an hour in the,
Well, they're massive.
in the seeing where, you know, the ready rooms and the
Sure.
sleeping quarters. And the, I mean, you're in there.
It is
For
kind
a
of
long
amazing
time.
people live in those things.
Yeah, for a long
I
time.
know. I mean,
Crazy.
the quarters of just
And
like the
I
general soldiers
know.
or whatever. I'm like, are you freaking kidding
Talk
me? It's
about
like a
claustrophobia.
And it wasn't-
plastic mat with like
Yep.
30 of them in one tiny tin can room. Oh,
Probably
And
no filters.
oh, I'm sure it's
Air
And it was all
smell.
guys. You know, it wasn't
It
like
was
just
all
people. It was all guys back then.
Yeah.
And and we so there was like an audio tour that you could scan these things, and it was like there's you know, there's a Navy shower which it has max 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Uncle Al was in there.
Yeah,
Uncle Al.
Uncle Al
gross.
did that.
Yeah.
Gross.
I've heard one of the most unpleasant experiences is being stationed on a submarine.
Oh,
I could believe
I
that.
could not do
Yeah.
it.
yeah, no
Yeah.
fresh air ever.
No fresh air, not unless they surface. And
No
sometimes
daylight?
they're down there.
No fresh
I
air.
couldn't do it.
Absolutely not.
How long can they
Absolutely.
be down under?
Let's see.
Well,
There's got to be some limit, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, but actually, I
they
think
probably
they have
can.
like air scrubbers and stuff
Yeah,
that
they
make
must
it
have
you can
Yes,
breathe.
but I mean,
It's just you're breathing in the same
The
air
same
over
air.
and
And just
over.
like
Well, they
I
have to have air scrubbers or you die of
Let's
Yes.
see.
what, carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a nuclear submarine, it depends on how much food you have.
Oh, okay.
sure. But what's like
they-
the average time spent in a submarine?
Let's see. Non-nuclear submarines, like a month or two.
Yuck.
Oh, you can be underwater for a month or two?
That's, yeah, they would.
Yeah.
And when they
Holy
were like
Hannah.
sneaking into places they've
Oh,
been there
yeah,
a
I
long time.
suppose, yeah.
So don't want to knock you off the direction, but I was at the Broadmoor this weekend at a lawyers convention.
Okay.
And so we hiked Garden of the Gods.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And it was
that's
okay.
great.
You know, it was a nice thing. But
That's
at one
a
point,
great
they're like,
hotel,
do you
though.
want to go the hard way or the easy way down this thing? And we have a very hard charging person that was kind of in the front. She's like, we're going the hard way. It was like, yeah, maybe that guy would have been freaked out a little bit, but
Yeah.
it was
Not
like the
that
biggest
bad.
drop was like, it was all rock. You're walking
Yeah.
on rocks, but the biggest drop was like that. It's like, if this is the
Oh,
hard
the
way,
foot. Oh,
The
yeah.
what are they taking in wheelchairs in the other one? Or,
It is
Yeah.
kind of amazing. It depends on where you are because there have been times where we've been like, this is not a moderate frickin' hike
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're, going straight up and you have to pick your way through rocks. That's not moderate.
No.
Mhm.
I feel like whenever there's rock picking and rock climbing, that's
Yes.
got to be
It's a little
more on
difficult.
the difficult
The more
side
difficult side,
because
yeah.
most people can't do that
No.
or aren't going to be dressed for it.
And it's high.
No.
The altitude's high, so that's a
Absolutely.
little bit more
Yeah.
of a challenge as far as that goes. But it was fine. It
But I
was-
suppose if the DNR or whoever's ever in charge of the parks puts that it's, easy and then
Mhm.
somebody falls down, then they're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
but you can go back to your ongoing.
that's
I just
okay.
didn't want to.
That's okay. But yeah, then we went to Coronado Island,
Oh,
we-
that's beautiful.
We told you to do
which
that.
was really pretty. And we had dinner at a little French restaurant. And then we went to the hotel, and a lot of it's under construction. But we went
Aw,
into like the
yeah.
lobby and kind of walked around. We had a drink at the bar, and it was really pretty. And then the next day we went to
That's been in
we
how
left
m-
San Diego and went to Laguna Beach.
How many
which is
movies
like-
has that hotel been in?
Which one?
Coronado
Oh,
Island.
God, all of them.
Hotel
At
del
one time,
Coronado.
that was
That is
very
gorgeous.
popular for a
It was, yeah.
background.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It was really pretty.
Indeed.
Yeah, then we went to Laguna Beach.